So Scott, I want to ask you to explain or to take some time to clarify just exactly how you feel your vision can be properly applied to somebody's business, whether it's their own nonprofit or a for-profit business that they're running. These are Christian managers. They have a Christian heart. Maybe a large part of their employee group is Christian as well. And how would they take this utopia idea, this good place idea, and really be faithful to it in terms of putting it on the ground and doing it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Great question. Thanks, Matt. So I'd like to say it doesn't have to be somebody who's a Christian who wants to do this. The principles do come from Scripture. That's where I find them. A lot of them. A lot of the principles come from creation, though. Christians tend to focus so much on God's revealed word in the Bible, understandably so, but God reveals all kinds of truth through creation. In one part of the Utopia book called Eden Inside Out, really make the point emphatically that creation is as much an expression of God's thought as Scripture is.
Okay, so, in essence, this is non-denominational, and it's for people that realize there's good in the world, and we need to maintain it and spread it.
Right, absolutely. The principles, again, that I find from Scripture, I also find in the world, are attractive to everybody. And I feel that the more that you tell people who may not be bought into the Bible being God's revealed truth, the more you tell them that you get this from Scripture, the less interested they are. And when I first started teaching this, the majority of the people that were interested in were not believers necessarily. And they were just as excited about the concept of wanting to live in a good place, giving people opportunity, encouragement to grow and develop, and that the work you do to earn your living can make your community a better place. It's not an either or
Good.
option.
Well, I'm glad for that clarification. And back to my question is, how do you take that? You're a company,
Yeah.
and your job first and foremost, right, is to pay your employees and to keep your promises. You're promising your customers a service or a product, and you want to keep this thing running. You want to pay your own bills.
Right.
You want to provide salaries, and so when you try to do good in the community, is that like finding people to give money away to, or how does this actually look?
Can be.
Can be.
Have to be careful not to do Monty Python line deliveries. It can be giving funds away. I think necessarily it will involve that. I mean, if you're working well, connecting with people who value what you're doing, you'll have some money that you can give to people who, that would be beneficial. But the purpose of running a business is not to generate money.
A good place business.
I would say any business, whether you recognize it or not.
Okay.
I mean, you can start one and say, yes, we're going to do this activity for the purpose of maximizing shareholder return on investment. And many businesses, do that. That is either overtly or covertly the main driver, the main value driving the operation. And it goes back to a very legitimate principle, which is if someone's going to invest in the work that you're doing, you should be able to pay them back with some return on it. But the stock market world has really taken that and made the application of it that the number one reason for your business is to achieve a return on investment
Sure.
for shareholders. And in fact, that's the highest objective, the highest value, greatest value, and all other values will be served as you accomplish that.
Right,
So,
and that serves as maybe their main ethical principle de facto is, hey, it's whatever increases shareholder value. We're going to consider it as the path to follow.
right, and this is probably a misapplication, but Adam Smith's invisible hand, if everyone's working for their own benefit to maximize their return on investment without getting thrown in jail, everyone's interest will be served. and that invisible hand seems to be very invisible in our communities today. Um, and so we have to have some other principles other than just maximizing return on investment. So many business owners have to work very hard. You could even say struggle to achieve a return on investment. And so it's hard to say that's not the main aim when they're struggling to achieve, even that. And then there are people who are fabulously wealthy, and they really want to just keep driving that to increase their profit and their wealth. And what they say is, well, it's a way of keeping score. And so I'm trying to win, and this is keeping score. And I don't know what they're trying to win,
Right. Right.
by that. So who is a good prospect for this? It's somebody who wants to be able to support their living, give people opportunity to generate revenue to support their own living when you work with them, but who really care about the people around them. They want to be a benefit to as many people as they can.
So when you say people around them, if the company is somehow saying, we're polluting a little bit here, or we're really having somehow a negative effect on the neighborhood, not intentionally perhaps, but it's happening. They're aware of that and they want to stop that somehow. Is that part of it, or?
So there's a cool phrase. I'm not sure exactly who all uses it. It might just be a certain segment of society, but harm reduction.
Harm reduction.
Harm reduction.
Zero harm footprint or something like that.
If we're causing some harm, we want to reduce that. So yes, sure, yay. If you realize you're causing some harm, you want to reduce that. Let's say that you have stopped all the harm you've caused. Now, are you providing any benefit? When you look out in the world at the community you're in, you don't have to look very far before you see people living in conditions that you think, wow, somebody shouldn't have to live like that. And if you have the ability to see opportunity to apply labor in ways that create value, how about if you use that ability to create jobs that generate a return that pays for that, for those people to have those jobs, pays for the investment back, and provides employment in ways that benefit the community. One of the concepts that I try to get across we have identified what we call the 10 areas of stewarding a good place organization. At the Good Place Institute at Good Place Holding, they call it the Good Place Operating System. One of the areas is managing innovation. And just, being an American, being related to business, you talk about innovation, automatically that's categorized as you see a way to meet a need that will generate revenue. Okay, sure. But what if you use that creativity that God gives us and you say, here's a situation in the community that I live in, the neighborhood, the city, the region, or something like that. Sometimes it's not geographical, but talk about things like that later. Here's a situation, how could I apply this creativity that I have to think of